I wonder what the B12 level of this Buddha is. This is a ripe banana. Watch how easy it pops open. See that? It's already starting to split. Boom. That's a ripe banana. I eat up to... That's a small one. I eat bigger than that, typically. Up to 70 a day. This is a Namdok Mai mango. Really, really sugar sweet. Really high carb. High water content. Packed full of goodness. Digest a treat. Tastes great. Today, I'm going to do what everyone's been asking me to do for the last few years. Going, Harley, I know you're a vegan, a long time vegan, almost 9 years coming up from 2010, and I think it's March, April, May. In May 2010, 9 years as a vegan. Coming up, or over 4 years as 100% raw vegan now. Surely, you know, your blood work must be just crazy deficient. You know, what about calcium and iron and B12 and protein, you know, all these things, and irons and stuff like that? What about it? What about sodium? What about potassium? You eat up to 70 bananas a day. What about potassium? Aren't you going to get hyperkalemia and have renal failure? Let's have a look. So I went down to the doctor and said, Doc, jab me up, take some blood, and take it to the lab. This is not like a naturopath or a homeopath or whatever. This is like the real deal, mainstream medical, allopathic, you know, doctor, MD, blood test done at the local blood clinic. So enough yapping, let's make it happen. I'll run you through it. So we have Harley Johnstone and the date. There's a bit of mango juice there. 19th of January 2010. Okay, sodium. If it has an asterisk in it, it means it's out of range. So the sodium is just, you know, up and down. That day I'd have been out of a Tour de France team. We did 210 kilometers, so interesting. Potassium, hang on, here we go. Potassium's 4.0 and 3.5 to 4.9. That's the range. You know, so people say you'll get too much potassium from eating up to 70 bananas a day. Well, I'm scientific evidence, after eating a lot of bananas for the last 8 years, that this actually is not true. Hyperkalemia is a term we use for patients with renal failure. And they got renal failure from eating alcoholics, or eating a lot of meat and dairy and stuff like that. And they develop kidney disease. So it's not from bananas. So everything's great, you know. Urea, that's always going to be low because uric acid is found in animal products. I'm a vegan, so urea is going to be low. It means more alkaline. That's great. eGFR is kidney function. So greater than 60, that's what we're looking for. Sweet. So again, if it has an asterisk, it means it's out of range. Cholesterol, well, that's easy. Urates, phosphates. Calcium, within range. Hang on, calcium, I thought we need milk for that. All these. Protein. What's the medical word for protein deficiency? I'll put $500 in your PayPal account if you can email me that. And it's not kwashiorkor, that's caloric deficiency. It's not marasmus, that's caloric deficiency. And it's not kwashiorkor or marasmus, they're both caloric deficiency. No scientific group agrees that they are either protein deficiency. Some scientists might say, oh, it's protein deficiency, but it's not a general rule. If you have iron deficiency, they call it anemia. All scientists agree anemia is, you know, iron. So no medical word for protein deficiency. I actually have the same amount of protein in your typical competitive steroid anabolic bodybuilder. People say, that's not true. I'm like, alright, I'll prove it. Just getting the page here. So this book here is the Anabolic Reference Guide. It's Phillips. This is what all the drug takers use. I recommend it. Just so you can, you know. Page 139. So this is a blood results of a typical bodybuilder. So we'll go straight down to, you know, most of my potassium's lower than a typical bodybuilder, you know. Calcium, all this stuff. Protein, total, 6.7. And that's grams per deciliter, which means 1/10 of a litre, so 100 mils. So we've got 6.7. That's the same as 67. And I've got, you know, so 68. What? And I just eat fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, raw plant foods. You know what I mean? Just a bit of sprouts occasionally, and I've got enough protein to be a competitive bodybuilder. How come I don't look like a competitive bodybuilder? Because I hardly lift weights, you know. if I spent as much time as I do on the bike as I do in the gym, I'd be a competitive bodybuilder, you know, no doubt. But I'm an endurance athlete, that's where my passion lies, and I like riding my bike up steep hills, and I like running marathons, and ride my bike for 24 hours, and all that sort of stuff. So, alright. So we'll keep back to the blood test. Alright, next one. Hemoglobin, 149. Red blood cell. You know, all these things. You mean corpuscular volume, that's a good indication of B12 deficiency if it's really high. But that can go up in athletes, so it's, you know, not always accurate. So again, nothing out of range, no asterisks. White cell count, all great. Plasma homocysteine, that's a good one of B12 deficiency if it's out of range. It's within range. Great. Thyroid, 0.5 to 4.0 is the range. 1.4, consistent with normal thyroid function. 19th. Actually, this is my favourite one, so I'll do this in the last. So we've got ferritin, iron, all within range. Vitamin D, get it from the sunshine. Take a supplement if you're living in crazy climates. Vitamin A, fruits and vegetables. Vitamin E, 20. Alright. Now here's the boom bada bing. Vitamin B12. Serum vitamin B12. 1450. The range is 140 to 700. Ali John Stone. Collected 19th to the 10th. Wow! So I was referencing my little anabolic steroid guide, and vitamin B12, you know, used by many athletes, feelings of well-being. So hang on, it's like, I thought only vitamin B12 deficiencies occur in vegans. How come bodybuilding books are recommending it? How come you can go on the bodybuilding websites and they say take vitamin B12 up to 4,000 micrograms a week? You know, it's like, how come, man? Interesting, isn't it? So watch part 2 of the raw vegan blood tests YouTube video that I'm putting out. Watch part 2 and I'll explain why B12 deficiency is not a vegan thing, it's just a society thing. So there you go, this blood test, man. Paperwork, you know, whatever it takes to provide some example, provide some convincing, or whatever it takes, man, I'll do it. So people, you know, ask me for years and years, put the blood test on the paper. Alright, done, finished. Next challenge, just Google me up, email me, put it on my YouTube, whatever challenge you got, I'll step up and deliver. Peace, see you later.